Agatha all along. It's not doing very well.
No.
You've watched Agatha, haven't you?
Yeah.
What did you think?
It's terrible. Look, you know what? I need to stop saying it. What I need to say is this is typical Disney Plus trash fire. The story is not compelling. There's no intrigue. There's very little, if any, character development. Nobody cared after episode 3 that a character that, you should have been in love with died, and nobody fell in love with the character. Now it's just a series of escape rooms. That's what the show is. It's escape room, the show. And it's all driven by, DEI, empowered witches. I could not be more unenthusiastic about something I'm compelled to watch every Wednesday.
Fair.
And so far, the writing is terrible. The dialogue's stilted. And it's not like you couldn't predict what's going to happen basically episode to episode. Once everything gets set up, a 6-year-old could figure out what's happening in the show. And it's just going to be targeted at one of these quote unquote witches each episode. And there's a decent chance we lose a witch every episode, which will hasten the show's end, which I'm all about. Have you watched
the latest episode?
Huh?
Are you watching the latest episode?
Yeah, I saw episode 3. Episode 4 is tomorrow.
What's wrong with you?
Because I'm on WDW Pro's show, I have to be informed. I cover this. We have an after party show tomorrow night. Yeah, I know.
Party, though, is it? It's not
Say
an
again?
Party, is it? You're not partying.
No, there is no party. That's true.
Jesus.
I'm getting hazard pay.
I'll send help, mate. I'll send help. Maybe I'll just drop on and take the piss out of you.
You should. It's like 1 a.m. or like 3 a.m. your time. So I dare you to come on.
Nah, I'm just gonna be asleep.
Lucky you.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, Marvel is attempting to find its mojo on streaming after a wonderful win at the box office. Deadpool and Wolverine, blah 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 blah. Anyway, Marvel's blah blah blah. Marvel has been bombing lately. There's some strong rumors that Kevin Feige is working hard to right the ship. I doubt it. Agatha All Along is another show that fits neatly into what Disney's superheroes have been like for the last couple of phases, which is true. Look at this crap. Unfortunately for Disney and Marvel, that also means that the results are looking like the failures they've been dealing with since 2020. So this is not doing well at all. So it's not to say you would easily detect that Agatha All Along as a ratings disaster on Disney Plus, because Variety compares Agatha All Along to Percy Jackson and the Olympians and the Acolyte. One of those received a second season, one was cancelled. So the outlet noted, quote, the first season of Agatha All Along hit 9.3 million views on Disney Plus in its first 7 days of streaming. Now you look at that and you go, oh, wow, okay, that's pretty good. It's not. It's not good at all, actually. So Variety then also stated in another post, the opening of Agatha All Along appears to be roughly on par with that of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which debuted with 13.3 million views in 6 days, as well as The Acolyte, the Star Wars series that hit 11.1 million views in 5 days. Okay. So again, you'd be hard-pressed to think that this wasn't doing bad. You'd think this would be doing great, and that's not. So for a keen observer, it's obvious that Variety and perhaps Disney are using different measurements without clearly denoting the situation. Agatha All Along is measured over 7 days. The Acolyte was measured over 5. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is a completely different case, but it doesn't really matter. But the Acolyte or Agatha All Along, they're not very good and, yeah, bombing. So if we divide the viewership measured for the Acolyte by the number of days for which we're given, we discover that the Acolyte averaged 2.2 million views per day in its first 5 days. If we divide the viewership measured for Agatha All Along by the number of days for which we're given, Marvel's new series only picked up 1.3 million views a day. In other words, Agatha All Along only nabbed 59.5% of the Acolyte's viewership, and that was cancelled, so that's not good, obviously. That's pretty terrible, clearly, right? Like, obviously that's bad.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. It's just not good viewership. And it'll be fascinating to see when they begin to release. Well, actually, when the Nielsen charts release their numbers, and then we get the numbers weekly, and you'll see how it just drops off, and people are like, "No thanks, mate. No thanks, I'm good." Because you'll see people who would have watched episode 1, but then they wouldn't have checked in for episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think
which is always the case.
Yeah, I think we're about to see that kind of a collapse.
Yeah.
My expectation is very low. I think that this will half itself by the time everybody gets to the 3rd episode because it just isn't compelling. The 2nd episode was boring as hell. And you have to remember, the first 2 episodes came out the same night. They were back-to-back, simultaneous release. So people watched episode 1, then watched episode 2, then tried to go find the very strong Drake. Because it just, none of it made sense and it wasn't very good. And then by the time you get to the 3rd episode, it gets worse. So, and it, again, writing's bad. They didn't really have an idea for the show. And I think that's really the most telling thing out there. They basically are telegraphing, we didn't know what to do with this. I believe you. I believe you.
I can't believe that. I mean, how long was this delayed for? Do you remember? Because this was delayed.
It got put in a box for, I want to say, half a year or more, maybe 8 months. Could be even a year.
Yeah, I can't remember.
This should have been one that
quite delayed, wasn't it?
Yeah, this should have been one that they reshot completely and taken out the political messaging and all the, the fact that they used the marketing strategy for this is the gayest Marvel ever. How did that work out for the gayest Star Wars ever? Not well. Maybe try something different marketing wise, something that could interest people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are just thoughts. Sometimes I just have thoughts.
I like the thoughts. Good thoughts, mate.
Yeah, my thoughts are this shouldn't have been made. This is another $150 million down the drain.
Fair.
Paul Tassi.
Well, they haven't actually revealed the budget for this. They said
Paul Tassi, I think, tried to reveal what he thought the budget was. Let me see if I can find that quote.
Well, it's cheaper than... It's the cheapest Disney Plus show yet. But people are trying to compare it to The Acolyte. They're like, oh, there's only 180 million, although we know it's more than that now. So I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, let's see.
You won't find it. I don't think you'll find anything.
He says, okay, so The Acolyte had a reported budget of 180 million. Agatha, all along, is now reported to have the lowest budget of any Disney Plus MCU series. And we know that previously that was Echo with a budget of just 40 million. You think this was shot for less than 40 million?
No. I don't know. I don't know how it cost more, to be honest. It doesn't look very good, but I don't know. I don't understand where these budgets go when I look at something like this, because it's not. I mean, she just put her hand in some ink. I mean, this isn't expensive stuff. I don't know, mate. I look at this stuff and I'm like, I have no idea where the budget is. But we know these budgets are insane, so I don't know. Who knows?
It's just money laundering at this point, right?
Yeah, it must be. Some of it is, anyway. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Insane stuff, mate. Insane stuff. Anything else to add?
Don't waste your time on this show.
Fair point. Well, there you go. Oh!